Absolutely. And, thank you, Jason, for your $5 super chat relevant to what we're talking about. OSU fans know Michigan is out recruiting their team. They just don't want to admit it. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit, just to be fair, because we am giving the Michigan perspective. But if I were a wide receiver and I was in Michigan and I was a 5-star wide receiver, then I also think the inverse is true, where that person might consider Ohio State more, because obviously Ohio State and Ryan Day are known for throwing the football, right, and very good quarterback play and elite wide receiver play. So if I'm a wide receiver and I want to make first round draft pick money, then Ohio State is probably the destination, or maybe a USC is another possibility with the quarterback play that they have. But you see what I'm saying? So I think it goes both ways too. I think that Ohio people are probably, if they're on like an O line, or they're on a defensive tackle, defensive edge, or if they're on a running back, especially running back position, Michigan pounds the rock more than most programs, right? Except Georgia pounds the rock a decent amount too, and Iowa and some others. Wisconsin has historically, but Michigan pounds the rock a lot. And so if you're a running back, if you're a really good running back, you're going to get carries if you're solid, especially because we still don't know who's going to be that, like you said, that replacement, right? Corum and Edwards are probably gone. It would be a bad thing if they weren't gone, because it means that Michigan didn't do well in the postseason or do what they expected to do. It would be a bad sign for Edwards to be coming back. Let's be very clear. So both of them should be going to the NFL after this year. And then, who is that third back? CJ Stokes has not proven yet that he's the third back. Cole Cabana, according to some reports, had shown some promise, but there's mixed on that, right? Haven't really seen the emergence of anybody kind of becoming that Donovan Edwards or Blake Corum force yet. And so that it makes a Jordan Marshall, even though that's a future one, that's still really, really important to secure, the talent in that position.
Jason, once again, thank you so much for your contribution. Great point there. And as John mentioned at the top of his rundown of the Marshall commitment, and I mentioned as well, John was getting hit on social media with Ohio State fans, saying not a big deal. We don't want these players. There's no question, Jordan Marshall, yes. Ohio State wanted him in a big way. Now, these two interior, I keep going interior offensive linemen because I'm thinking off the top of my head that they're both offensive linemen. One's a defensive lineman that had committed to Michigan a couple months ago. And we did our Ohio State show earlier today, and I'm understanding that, yes, Ohio State not interested. And these are not nearly the high-profile optics of what happened today with Marshall. But at the same time, if these guys turn out to be really good players, Ohio State losing players out of their own backyard who turn out to be, and I got to think, if Jim Harbaugh's signing interior offensive linemen, I think they've handed out a couple awards here the last 2 years for that. So I think he's got a pretty good eye for that and development plan for that. So Luke Hamilton's a top 10 player in the state of Ohio. He's just on the fringe, number 11 in the state, technically, 247 Sports. Ted Hanman on the defensive side, he's a top 15 player in the state of Ohio, and Michigan grabs those two guys as well. So that's not a bad look, but it could turn out to be two really productive, good players that from the Ohio area that go and play for Michigan. So